Well, hey, my beautiful friends and family. It's Miss Ellen, and it is another hot afternoon in Buffalo, Texas. And with the sun beating down on me on the porch on this, it's supposed to be fall afternoon. It's really hard to tell that this morning I couldn't see anything. There was so much fog. Now, it wasn't quite the Hounds of Baskerville fog, but it was foggy. It was really noticeably foggy, kind of like you might imagine Scotland with just some fog on the ground. It was really very pretty, but you can't tell now that the fog's lifted that it ever was foggy. Yeah, I'm going somewhere. So I was thinking, living in Central Texas, we really don't have socked in fog like you did, like I did in California. In California, in particular, I remember a time in college, my university, we used to call it University of California Sandbox, was UC Santa Barbara, and it was right on the ocean. And it was so, so beautiful. But one day, one evening, I ran out to get a pack of cigarettes back when I had the habit. And I left campus, and it was really a short, like 3 miles away. And fog rolled in, like suddenly, swiftly, enveloped the car, and it was nighttime, and I could not see a thing. And I can still remember the terror of that time. It was terrifying. It was so dark and so scary. And zero visibility. And I remember rolling down the window, right? Because you roll down the window and you can see the stripes, and I couldn't see the stripes of the road. I had no idea where my car was. Every once in a while, I just get a little bit of a flash out of the fog. It was horrific. Well, obviously, I made it through that. Um, but I remember the panic. And I remember knowing that whenever I got to get my cigarettes, I was going to have to go back into it. And I really didn't want to ever do that again. And considering my options and considering that there was no way that I could just make it all go away and make the fog clear. It was out of my control. And I couldn't really ask someone to come get me because why would I want to bring someone else into that situation? So that's quite a metaphor for life, isn't it? But we got through it. Um, by the time I got back into the car, it wasn't so bad. And I didn't have to go far. And so I went really slowly. And I'm not really going to give you a lot of help on how to navigate um, the fog because it's terrifying and it's scary. And you don't want to bring your friends into the fog with you. You just want to get through it with everything in your being. You just want to get through it and get home and get to safety and have it all be over. And so that's kind of how I'm feeling as the fog here is lifting. We are fully aware that the time may come that we're going to have to go right back into the fog, and we don't want to do that. Neither one of us wants to go back in the fog from whence we came. But I know that as the fog is lifting and the immediate dangers have passed and we have visibility and we can see, there's a need to be with friends and family. And there's a need to celebrate and to share the wondrousness of being out of the fog. That night in Santa Barbara, the first thing I did is run to my dorm mates and tell them how incredible it was. And they all ran out with me to the parking lot. And of course, by the time they got there, the fog really had lifted. There was nothing to see. And it was like, really, Ellen? What? You were really scared of this? It's just dark. It's dark. It's not foggy. So I don't know if they ever believed me how terrifying it was. But I know it was fun to talk about it. I know it was fun to congregate with them and celebrate the fact that there was no more fog. So the fog will lift is all I can tell you because I know some of you are in the fog and you can't see. and you can't find the stripes in the road, and you're wondering if you're ever going to get to your destination, and you don't want any happy, positive, motivational things going on, and you don't want to watch me telling you happy, thoughts because you're thinking, Ellen, I can't even see. And all I can tell you is I know what that's like. I know what it's like to be in the fog and not be able to see and not be able to know how long you're going to be in it or get out of it. I know that. I also can tell you that the fog will lift. I don't know how long the fog will stay lifted, but I know the fog will lift. And on the days the fog is gone, celebrate. Enjoy the feeling of the sun on your face. Enjoy the vista you get to see. Enjoy every second of it. That's all I know. And while you're waiting for the fog to lift, just be so careful. Be so gentle with yourself. Go slow. Go slow. Do not do all the things you would do if you could see clearly. Don't feel like you need to do everything. Let the bills stack up. They'll be there when the fog lifts. And let all the pressing urgencies dissipate like the fog eventually will. And when the fog lifts, you can tackle all you need to tackle. But for now, if you're in the fog, navigate safely. If you're out of the fog, celebrate. And don't worry about when the fog will come again. Maybe it won't. You know, climate is changing. Maybe there won't be fog. And if there is, maybe it'll be the pretty kind that settles on the ground and you can see over it. So that's all I got today. I thank you so much for watching, for letting you hear my heart, because the fog's lifted here for now. And we can see great. And Charlie was able to come out on this beautiful porch, and he was able to walk on his walker down our sidewalk, and he was able to feel the sun on his face because the fog had lifted. Very cool. So thank you for watching, because, you know, if you don't watch me, I'm talking to myself.